So, to the last final of this 14th year of the HSBC Sevens World Series. What a year. The first 5 tournaments, 5 different winners. And then Fiji's second title and South Africa's third title. But the overall champions has been New Zealand, the cup title, and Australia in their first cup final of this season. The last time they met, believe it or not, Australia versus New Zealand, they met in the cup final 2002 in Brisbane, where Australia won 28-0. Well, it's been extraordinary really, because the last 21 meetings between Australia and New Zealand, Australia have only won 3 times, and that was in a plate side semi-final in 2011. Here Australia then, well, they've been a tremendously interesting, this young side, average age under 21, 2 of real experience. Ed Jenkins, such a canny captain, and the 30-year-old James Stannard, 2 remaining from that last time that Australia won here, which is in 2010. New Zealand, well, no DJ Forbes injured, but terrific stand-in captain Tim Mickelson. Part of the key in the great trio. Mickelson 40th tournament, Tomasi Thama 55, Rankambula 58. But by contrast, exciting newcomers this season, Gillies Kaka, Rocky Khan, Peter Archie, only his second tournament. And, well, with midfield players, Sherwin Stowers and Kurt Baker, that's a pretty start for the New Zealand going up for the beginning of the game. Last time that Australia won a cup was in Tokyo last season, and the last time that New Zealand won here was in 2007. So 6 in a row have won the cup title here, all different. Australia 2010, New Zealand 2007. And who's it going to be? 10 minutes each way. These great South Pacific nations. And here, the leader, who's been outstanding. Absolutely, Tim Mickelson. What a start. I think he's been absolutely brilliant this season. To me, I think he's been the most important player in any other game.
Yeah, I mean, he's been sensational for New Zealand over the last few years, but he's been a real standout this year, you know, arguably one of the players of the series, and just showing his quality here, his ability just to hold the ball up, hold defenders up, use his teammates, and then he's got the gas to finish it. He's very deceptive, Tim Mickelson. He's a big boy, but he can run.
Sure can. Well, he started, what, 6 years ago? And he's been so consistent. I think that's the remarkable thing about him. Never has a bad game.
No, I mean, he is, and I think, you know, that's something that Gordon Tietjens is very good installing in players, but his work ethic is sensational, his ball skills are sensational, and his all-round game is something that, you know, people should look at and try and replicate.
And standing in very well for DJ Forbes as captain. And, of course, well, the man alongside him there with the conversion, the 32-year-old Tomasi Thama with the conversion. So, bit of an early setback for Australia, but remember it's a 10 minutes each way in the final. And Australia with that big win against England, 14-7, big
advantage,
and important to them. Away now by Tuapu, wide by Lewis Holland. This Ed Jenkins, real experience. And we'd say one of the older players in this squad, 25. Packer tried to rip it out, doesn't get it. Good play, bigger to Peter Schuster. Only his third tournament.
Ruck.
Australia here, I think they need to stretch it, play into
his
hands a little bit in terms of cutting back into where they're strong. They're holding onto the ball well. They've got to move this team around.
Mike O'Connor does find some new young talent, doesn't he?
He does. You know, there's a lot of rugby played in Australia, but when he gets hold of them, he coaches them well and gets the best out of every player that comes through this setup.
Move forward!
In the hands of Holland, but losing it. And the breakout by Kaka goes wide. And then it's Rokkan. Tremendous. All the way through goes Peter Aki. Well, his only second tournament, this guy from North Harbour, a 20-year-old. And he has really done brilliantly well here and in Glasgow last week. That was his debut. Good work from Tharma.
It was good. Not usually seeing Tomasi Tharma do that, but it's good work on the floor. And where New Zealand are just quality is they recognise the space straight away. The ball goes there, and they could have had any one of Tim Mickelson or Peter Aki running that in for them.
Tharma. 8 seasons of New Zealand sevens. And just calmly puts it through the middle. Well, this is beautifully done. Just new in the squad this season and got a breakthrough coming through with DJ Forbes being injured, and also Tua Tagalongi and Curry and Ben Lam taking his chance, hasn't he? Raikambula does graft, doesn't he?
Clear release. Oh, no, do not use that.
Lottie's he's all over the place for New Zealand, and often they try, sometimes Titch will rest him, but the team just seems to be a bit more dysfunctional without him. When he's in there, everybody's doing their job properly. He's someone that really brings that team together.
Coach Michael O'Connor, well, he's delighted anyway, get into a cup final for the first time this season. And they certainly enjoyed it when they last won here in 2010. This is Peter Schuster again, strong, made his debut in Tokyo just two
He's a tackler! Turn over, it's good, leave it back!
14-0 though, they are down, but time is plenty. The break with Fa'alavao. Good tackle coming in from Show in Stowers. Well, he's been hot and cold, he's been in and out, but he's made his mark certainly in this tournament. Wonder if he'll come into the Rugby World Cup Sevens in Moscow. It's going to be a battle.
Everwood with 6.
Australia could really do with building something here now off this line out. They've got good territory. They're unlucky on that break just now. Really try and utilise this ball to their advantage.
Holland into the hands of Fa'alavao. This is Cameron Clark. He's had his best tournament so far. Some early terrific tries. Switches it now. Wide into the hand of Jenkins. He's the man of experience and the great leader. But there's the other leader, Mickelson. There's going to be a penalty anyway for Australia. Or is it just a knock-on? I think it is. Scrummage here about 6 metres out.
New Zealand have been ruthless here at the breakdown. You watch this, it's tackle, it's up. Question mark as to whether Tim Mickelson is legal there, but it's just stalling the progress of the Australians. They can't get any momentum into their game.
Well, it was only into the Cup semi-final against Kenya that they didn't just wipe out everyone else. They didn't beat Argentina 50 points, Wales 43, Kenya 31. Here they go! And Fa'alavao is the try scorer for Australia. Really came out of the blue, and important too.
I don't think anybody was going to stop him there. He's seen the line, and I think he jumped through one and jumped over another.
Absolutely. Well, he's a hard man. He's a novice butcher, And he's got some momentum here, hasn't he? Terrific. Splits through the gap. So that sets them up again now with the conversion. This is important. 9 behind at the moment. Cameron Clark. No, it's gone wide. But still, that's given them confidence again. Really, he was focused, wasn't he? Tremendous, no doubt. Nothing could have stopped that. It's all about focus, keeping your mind on it. Raikambula, Tharma, and then this is Kaka. He's been a revelation this season, one of the new boys. And here Kurt Baker. He's had experience, playing terrific again. Tharma, oh yes, into the hands of Sherwin Stowers. Back they come, and that's so often the case, isn't it? Back they come within a minute or two of the previous try of the opposition.
Yeah, I was watching right from the kick-off here, the quality of Lotte Raikambula. He's caught the ball under pressure. Most teams would have held it and set up a breakdown. He actually just offloads it, gets tackled by 3 players. He's taken 3 players out of the game. Then you just move it wide to Kurt Baker, who's in plenty of space. He's utilising this again, the chip and chase, which he's good at. And it's great following up. Who's there? Tamasi Tharma and then Sherwin Stowers.
It's one of their outstanding talents, isn't it? The ability to see the guys who've got the ball. Support, support, support.
It is, and the other thing that comes in their game, they never panic. You know, they've just had a try scored against them, but it's okay. Let's regroup and let's play on. The next time we get the ball, we're going to make something happen. It's exactly what they've done here.
3 tries, 3 conversions, 21-5. Last moment of this first half. Well, Australia really need to get something back now. Nick Malouf comes on. He's one of the new boys. And certainly Michael O'Connor, given the experience of them. Lewis Holland taken into touch, and a pretty effective first 10 minutes by New Zealand, who lead 21-5.
Yeah, unfortunate there for Australia, just one pass too far. If they could have kept that ball in, maybe given themselves another opportunity before half-time. You know, tries count in this game, one more there would have been really helpful.
21-5, New Zealand lead.
Didn't we want to kick it long? We don't want to do it a half-half, okay? We either kick it long or we kick it short.
That was a 2 without set back.
All right, but if
just
we're going to
eyes
do that,
up.
we've got to get up.
If we know we can't hit it when they catch, we've got to spread. So I'm getting left stranded out there all the fucking time.
Go deep, don't go in behind him, stay up in the line.
Because we're good enough defensively. That's the only part. Otherwise, when we've got it, we use the space, we carry on what we're doing. Until we get it away from the area and we've got them. But we're going to keep going in there when they go in, just back up. Back up. One guy has a crack and then get out of there. Let it go.
Oh, we're just kidding, eh?
But what we're doing,
Let's get to this.
but what we're doing is we're falling over and taking ourselves out as well. Just keep on our feet, keep it alive.
Maybe the tackler just have a crack. Yeah. Just everyone top, eh?
Hey, use our good practice. We need to score straight away.
I'll tell you what it is. You see, Gordon Tietjens knows that they've only got 1 cup title. And no one's ever won a cup overall championship with only 1 cup title. This he needs to get 2 and end on the best.
I think it's a nice way for them to go out if they were to win, because last week they claimed the IRB series, but they didn't get the result they wanted against South Africa. Here they got the opportunity to go out with the series and on a high in London, and Gordon Tietjens was very clear there with what he wanted to do.
Well, we've had some wonderful players in this tournament. Ben, who are you going to have as your player of the tournament here in Twickenham?
I think there's been many great players, but one person that stood out for me was Zach Test.
Outstanding, hasn't he been, Phil? The USA, absolutely. They didn't get into the cup final, but he was absolutely brilliant. Good choice. Sure it is. Here's Kaka, the guy who was sensational in Glasgow last week. Made, well, not only scored 5 tries, he made a few others as well. Set up by Mikkelsen, away by Tharma. There he goes again. Not quite the accurate pass, but still in the hands of Aki. Here's Tomasi Tharma, now into the hands of Kurt Baker. He's got pace. Oh, and he's been missed by Cameron Clark. And New Zealand stretch out again. And Kurt Baker, well, he had a terrible hamstring earlier in the season, but my goodness, it's obviously gone now, and he's fine. And, well, what a start to the second half for them.
Well, he was in doubt for this tournament, I think, with the injury, but it doesn't seem to be holding him back at the moment. I mean, just the patience they have on the ball here. If you look, Lotte Kogan-Buller again didn't panic. What they've done, they played right back round the outside of the Australians. They have to work hard to get the depth, but the New Zealanders are good at doing that. And then they've got the likes of Kurt Baker on the outside, who's got exceptional speed. And unfortunately for Cameron Clark, he's just not quite good enough there.
And there, the conversion formality from the great Tomasi Tharma. Well, confidence and a smile from the man from Taranaki. New Zealand right on top of the game. And this guy, well, look at him. Gordon Teachin started with the Sevens New Zealand in 1994. Has been every through of the HSBC 7 Series since 1999, and he has now led them 11 championships out of the 14 years. Quite remarkable, isn't it? And it's their continuity throughout the season. They haven't dropped out of anything below third, and they will be the highest points ever in a season if they win this tournament now. 28-5 they are at the moment. It's not over yet, but mind you, it's still full 7 minutes to go. 28-5. It's happened in the past, but not very often. And certainly not against New Zealand, I don't think.
No, Australia here, I mean, holding on to the ball, but they're just not getting any clean breaks that they'd like. And New Zealand, again, they're working hard in defence, making it hard for Australia and getting a turnover.
Jenkins there, this guy who started out 5 years ago, Sydney University. He was back in the Rugby World Cup Sevens in Dubai 2009. He and Stannard are really the ones who only depth of experience, unlike those, well, 150 plus 3 in the New Zealand side.
Look for the 7. Look for the 7.
Touch.
Great to see Rusty Razavanga as the referee again. Not the first time this season he's doing the cup final from Cape Town, and just a delightful guy, and certainly has been top Sevens referee, chosen of course by Paddy O'Brien, who's in charge of all the referees for the Sevens. Well, it looks as though Australia aren't bouncing back too much at the moment, Ben, are they?
No, New Zealand are definitely in control of this one at the moment. You know, kicking for touch, using the clock, playing finals rugby. It's a different tactic. Don't often see them kick for touch, but in finals you utilise it to eat some of the clock away when you've got a 28-5 lead. New Zealand will want to just take as much time out as they can.
Well, it's 6 years ago they last won here. They'll want it again. Extraordinary how it's been 6 different winners here at Twickenham. But this will be the repeat for New Zealand. Last time, 2007. They also won here in 02 and 01, but this is important to them. Mikkelsen. Oh, he's so elusive, isn't he? And he's going for the corner, and look at the pace of the guy. tremendous. What, 70, 80 metres all the way.
It was when he went for the corner, but he just kept stretching away. He's got such long legs, and it must be so demoralising for the Australians chasing him. But again, exceptional footwork for a big guy. Stepping two, and then off he goes.
110 tries. Now look how he beats these two. Laloifi and Holland, cuts them through. And then the acceleration. And then the stamina. Over 33 points. Tomasi Thama still on the field. No. And the forward, you know, we've seen them with the Samoans. They've been terrific, like Alafoti. But Tim Mickelson now is 5th highest point, and he's a forward.
I know, it's quite exceptional. Yeah. Also looking there, you know, he's one of the top try scorers for New Zealand in New Zealand history, which is quite exceptional. And it shows how many tries he has scored on this World Series in the time he's been there.
110. Sam Figg coming on now, and away by Stannard. Well, they'll want to end on a high note at least. Australia here. Of course, they'll be into the World Cup as well, facing South Africa, China and Ireland. New Zealand will be facing USA, Canada and Georgia in the World Sevens. But look, here we go again. And it's Lotte Raikambula. He's got it. I think that's okay. I mean, it can be on the post.
Quick question. Murray, come in quickly.
Let's have a look.
Did you see a
just
clear
a
grounding in
discussion
goal?
here to have a look.
Okay.
I don't think there's a problem with this, do you? You can do that. Slides into the bottom of the post there. Well, yeah, that's it, isn't it? That's fair enough.
It was a painful way to score a try there, being bent double by the post, but he did manage to get it touching the bottom of the post, which counts as a try.
Well, with that conversion, New Zealand get the highest score ever over Australia. That was what, 9 years ago when they beat Australia 39-5 in Los Angeles. Now it's 40 points to 5. Well, they've been outstanding, absolutely, but they had a scare surely in the Cup semi-final, losing, Kenya losing zip to 7, that's all.
Advantage
Just one
black.
try by New Zealand in that Cup semi-final.
Still advantage black.
Here's Rocky Khan, who's come on, another boy, a Fijian and a Fijian Indian, New
And it
New
is
Zealand
over.
international now, came from the island of Rotuma. Knocked back by Malouf. 2 minutes to play. Well, Australia really wants something else, a little bit of compensation anyway.
Right now they just seem to be coming up against the black wall. I mean, not making any progress at all.
Malouf. And New Zealand don't give up, do they? Even if they're way ahead, as they are now, 40-5. They'd say, well, we won't let them get anything. But they may have here. And here's the chance.
Well, it's an excellent try. Australia, you know, they stuck at it, kept the ball, kept working there, and Junior Laloifi getting some late consolation points for Australia.
Yeah, one of these new young guys who's just come on, an 18-year-old, and a little bit of compensation anyway. Reduces the margin only to 28 points with 1 minute and a quarter to go. So a chance there for this guy coming through from the Sunnybank Club.
Time off. Who's going off?
Started out in Dubai this
Time
season,
back on.
then came back to Glasgow and here in London. 40-12.
Yeah.
Looks a little bit better anyway.
Last forward. And last forward.
Into the last minute.
Maybe one more chance for Australia to try and get some more points on the board just to close that deficit, but I think you'll find it's been a pretty emphatic win here by New Zealand in this final.
Crouch. Touch. Sit.
So at least the target for Gordon Tietjens was, we've got to get a second cup title, and they've certainly
Off your
got it
feet first.
absolutely here. They've certainly been
Not in advantage.
tremendously consistency throughout the season. Can you imagine? There's never been anything like it when anyone's not been lower than third in every tournament, all 9 tournaments. Here come Australia with a last little flourish into the hands of Jenkins, but you see, they'll stop him. They'll do their damnedest to not them concede yet another try. So there's a penalty and a chance with Lewis Holland. The cross into the hands of Stannard. There you go. More likely, New Zealand will score perhaps. Mickelson to Raikambula. Well, they had 2 men overlaps if they had got it on.
Backwards about goal.
Lammert coming on. And still
Off the foot.
which way?
on,
That
he's a
way?
tackler.
Which way? The other way. Kurt Baker with the kick. Bit of chase here. Cameron's there. So is Lewis Holland.
Off the knee.
This is Kurt Baker. Well, it's a finale of some type. Quite extraordinary. And this is Raikambula. Raikangula, who was terrific earlier in the tournament. Away now, Lammert. And look at it. It's Mickelson. He's gone away once again. And how kindly he gives it to Warwick Lammert.
Well, I'm not
Finale,
sure.
what a finale.
Unbelievable. I'm not sure which way the ball was going there, but they stuck at it and they could have just kicked it out and finished it, but no, what they want to do, they want to finish with a try, and that guy, Tim Mickelson, on hand again. I mean, it's been absolute exceptional sevens.
Well, he's only one scored conversion ever. That's his second. Tim Mickelson, 2 conversions, 2 tries. What a performance by New Zealand. They were the class. New Zealand 47, a big win, the biggest ever win over Australia, 47-12 in a cup final. Well, what a happy ending for the coach of New Zealand, Gordon Tietjens, with Seb Lozier.
Well, Gordon, you're the World Series champions, but not only that, you finished in style here in London.
Yeah, mate, it was great to finish in style, and 7 finals, and won one up to this one, and to win this one to cap a pretty good year for us. It's awesome.
Yeah, there are some that have gone by, haven't there, this season? You haven't done it all your own way. How hungry were the guys coming into this tournament?
Yeah, really hungry. You know, we got knocked back with a few injuries, and got a few boys back home, and some of the younger players wanted something to prove as well, which is, you know, it's great when they've got those incentives of a World Cup just ahead in a couple of, a few weeks' time. But you know, just one game at a time. We had some tough ones over the weekend. You know, Kenya twice was very, very tough, and even Australia. You know, against all odds they beat England. So you know, we knew we were up for a toughie today, but they responded, and we had to win that final.
An 11th World Series in 14 years for you as well. What's the secret?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's what it's all about. You know, we work really hard. You know, you get the rewards when you work hard, and I'm so pleased for the youngsters and also my management team. Got a great team here. We've got a great culture, and let's keep on winning.
Fitting in a way that Tim Mickelson should score the final try of the season. A word on Tim.
Oh, Tim Mickelson just not only captained my side for the 2 tournaments, but just simply outstanding. I'm obviously, it's great to have him. Scored some great tries. Great finale, really, for him to score the last try. I think that was quite fitting. And yeah, just leads from the front, and I couldn't ask for anything more, you know, from my captain. I get that with DJ as well, so it's fortunate my New Zealand side. We've got some depth, some captains coming through.
You mentioned the World Cup. It's been 12 years since you won one of those. You have another chance next month.
Yeah, we have another chance. It's another tournament, but we've seen how close these tournaments are and how good the teams are, you know. So, you know, it's going to be, you know, you look at the USA and how they've improved. You know, amazing, really. And, you know, we've got the USA in our pool. We've got Canada in our pool, and a fully strength Canadian side are very, very tough as well. no easy games. There's not going to be in the World Cup, and but we're certainly going to go there to give it our best shot.
Hey, thanks, Gordon. I think we're now going to hear from your captain, Tim Mickelson. Tim, well done. You're just about to become, well, a member of a pretty elite group of players who are going to raise a World Series trophy for New Zealand. How does that feel?
Yeah, it feels good. No, it's good to be rewarded for the hard work we've done all year. Not just this 12, but the rest of the guys back home. And it's pretty important that we won the final. You know, we've been disappointed a lot this year, so we just want to go out on high.
Titch mentioned the culture in the team, the spirit. Tell me about that.
You know, we've got a great culture in the team. When you guys come in, they're a bit shy, but they come straight in and they know what it's all about, you know. We're all equal, we're all here, we all did the hard work and we all play together, so it's good.
An 11th series title for New Zealand, 11th for Gordon too. Are you all just a bit scared of it? Is that what it is?
Yeah, we're a bit scared when we run out to the training pitch, but, you know, when you got a record like that, you know, it makes us more hungry, makes us not want to let Titch down or the culture that's gone before us, so, you know, it strives and makes us go better, I reckon.
And a World Cup next month in Moscow. A crack at that. It's been 12 years.
Yeah, definitely. Don't really want to think about that too much now. We'll just enjoy this win, and then when we go home, we can think about that.
Well done, Tim.
Cheers, thank you.
Well, what a performance by Tim Mickelson and his New Zealand team. Well, let's have a look at the final of the series of this season. So there you are, right at the top, the best ever that has been in those points. 173, never lower than third, and now today the second cup title. Behind them, South Africa and Fiji. South Africa winning 3 tournaments, Fiji winning 2, Samoa there, Kenya, England with the 1 cup title win in Wellington. And down, of course, to the bottom 3 as well, importantly, because they were in the qualifying tournaments, and they were, of course, all in the series this season. And with good luck, they have got through again to next season. Portugal, Spain, and Scotland. Those 3 are again in next series. Well, we talk about New Zealand over these 14 years, and obviously run by Gordon Tietjens, the coach who's been all the way through this year. And just look at that. You see there, it all started in the first season, 1990. Then New Zealand won 5 titles, and so indeed did Fiji. But then more and more and more, they've gone all the way through, right to with the 11 wins out of 14 seasons. Fiji, South Africa and Samoa have the only other 3 that have won a title. Well, Ben Gollings, I mean, it's consistency, isn't it? And the discipline and the fitness levels, I think that is the elements of New Zealand's success in sevens.
It has been, and it's something that everybody's tried to replicate in a way, especially the consistency. And they were the original team that showed you how fit you needed to be and the kind of standards you needed as a player to reach the heights that this New Zealand have reached. And it's no coincidence they've won 11 out of 14.
I tell you what, though, there's one thing that there's missing, isn't there, for them? And this is talking about the Rugby World Cup sevens. Wales lost the previous one, Fiji the one before that. Now then, what do you think about that?
It is interesting because New Zealand were and have been the outstanding performances every year on the World Series, but the World Cup has got away from them on 2 occasions.
Well, there's Lote Rai Kambula. Well, Tamasi Sama, well, what about him? He has been sensational, not just this season, but since he started in Singapore in 2005. 32-year-old Tamasi Sama, he's down there with Seb.
Well, Tamasi, a special day.
Yeah, it is. It's been a long time coming for us. You know, we won the tournament since South Africa, and but the boys put it together this week. We're very disappointed in the last few finals that we attempt, but you know, to come away on top on this one was very pleasing.
I asked Tim the same question. Talk to me about the culture, the spirit within this team.
Well, I guess that's what keep us going, and I guess that's what keep us. Some old fellas keep coming back. You know, the culture in the team. It's something very special. You know, you hardly see it anywhere else. And but the boys do work hard. I think that's the key thing for us. We work together, work hard, and to come out and put a performance like that this weekend was very pleasing.
And the new breed, they've also come through this season, haven't they? Gillies, Rocky, and they're nipping at your heels.
Yeah, I guess you know, they put pressure on us and keep the old fellas on their toes. But on the other side, it's a good thing on our team moving forward. We've got a good depth in the squad. There's a few injuries in the team, and like I said, you know, the young boys, they come in and they step up big time.
You're a World Series champion again. Well done.
Thank you.
And so to the Cup winners, the Marriott London Sevens 2013, and first goes Tomasi Tama. The presentations by Stuart Warman, Director of Strategic Alliances and Partnerships at Marriott Hotels, Nigel Hinchelwood, Chief Operating Officer Europe at HSBC, and the President of the Rugby Football Union, Paul Murphy, with the medals there of the Marriott London Sevens Cup winners.
It's a sensational sight. I mean, quite incredible, and what an experience for these players to be standing up there receiving this award. It's been a great tournament, world record breaking crowds, and New Zealand finishing it off in style.
Well, they started in Gold Coast in the Cup final there, and they went in 3 in a row Cup finals. Third in Wellington, Cup final in Las Vegas, third in Hong Kong, Tokyo final again, Cup final in Glasgow, wins in, of course, London and Port Elizabeth. There's Tim Mickelson taking over as captain from the injured DJ Forbes. And there, once again, the hands on the trophy of Gordon Tietjens.
Fun times for this team. You know, they played exceptionally well throughout the whole tournament. Really only one game where they stuttered and Kenya almost got the better of them, but other than that, they've been deserved winners, putting some big sides away by some big scores, and Australia unfortunately just couldn't match what this side could produce in the final.
So the winners of Twickenham, the winners of the HSBC Sevens World Series. And of course there is always a tournament of the tournament, and this time it has been Zach Test. He's talking with Seb again.
Well, Zach, there were 240 rugby players here this weekend, and you've been singled out as the best of the lot. How does that feel?
Oh, it feels great, but I mean, all the credit goes to my great teammates. You know that, I mean, we worked so hard together back in San Diego, and I mean, this bottle's for them. They put me in the positions that got me this award.
You came into these last two tournaments in perilous danger. It's been a roller coaster, hasn't it?
Oh, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of emotion and nerves, especially going into Glasgow with that fight with Scotland. But I mean, we worked really hard in San Diego to do the right things to get us out of relegation, and get some wins. And we got another plate win in Glasgow, so it was some good stuff.
And now a World Cup to look forward to. How does that feel?
Oh, it's my first World Cup, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Thanks, Zach. Well done.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, don't forget the World Cup is in Moscow in the last weekend of the month of June. There, Zach Test, he's been absolutely tremendous this season, hasn't he? He's really come to the top.
He has. You know, he's one of the players that the US need in their side, and this weekend it's not just about scoring tries, it's the hard work he's done around the park and his exceptional ability in the air, taking kickoffs and giving them the platform to play, which is what you need in a team.
And of course what we've seen with the USA Eagles is that they've come now through into Cup quarter-finals in the last 3 tournaments. Never done that before.
No, and it's the way in which their team is now working, they're understanding the game better, and they're starting to bring those performances. And again, we talk about consistency. They've been consistent. Their goal next year will be to go one better than a plate final.
Well, disappointment perhaps here, but they've won more tournaments than anyone else. That, of course, is the South African team, who have really been brilliant in the last few months. In Glasgow, they were won last week when they beat New Zealand 28-21. The previous to that one was they won the title in Tokyo, beating New Zealand then, and about a month before that, they won their third other title in Las Vegas, when for the third time, well, they started off with that one. In the cup final, they beat New Zealand 40-21. So, the runners-up then to the champions of 2012-13. Been an exciting time. They've had big injuries, of course, with the likes Cecil Africa and Branco de Prier and so on, but they've gone well at the last few tournaments, haven't they?
They've gone exceptionally well, and you know, they've come away with 3 titles in this series. They are unfortunate that they weren't closer to New Zealand, but they'll probably kick themselves for the start they had. They were a bit slow, but they've come through, and they're showing that they've got consistency in their squad, and they will come back now. And South Africa could be a very good chance for a World Cup with the way in which they finished off this World Series.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be, well, absolutely exciting, isn't it, in Moscow, with who's going to go through, with the sides like the increasing improvement of USA, of England, of South Africa. Samoa, well, they've gone down a bit, but they could well be back in the problem. And don't forget Wales, they're the reigning champions of the moment, and of course New Zealand and Australia. So the champions of the season for the 11th time in 14 years, it is New Zealand. And with the presentation there, Andrea de Vincentis, the head of rugby sponsorship HSBC, and alongside him Brett Gosper, the CEO, the new man at the IRB. Well, it's been a tremendous, exciting season, unlike any other, bearing in mind those first 5 tournaments were won by 5 different countries. That's never happened before, has it, Ben?
No, and I think it's the way in which Sevens has grown as a game, and the way in which it's changing, and that we did see New Zealand dominating those cup finals year in, year out. But actually now, even though they're here picking up the award of the World Series Championships, you have seen other teams come to the fore this year capable of winning tournaments, and it's making it that much more exciting and that much more competitive.
Absolutely. Just thinking back, you know, it was Fiji in Gold Coast, it was Samoa in Dubai, it was New Zealand in Port Elizabeth, it was England in Wellington, it was South Africa in Las Vegas. I mean, that was absolutely sensational, wasn't it? Those first 5 different winners. And then, of course, back came Fiji, then South Africa, the last 2, but wrapped up, and absolutely appropriately, New Zealand win here in Twickenham, the first time to 2007. And there, the season's champions are New Zealand, with the captain later of this season, but also don't forget DJ Forbes, Tim Mickelson, and New Zealand champions yet again, the 11th time within 14 years of this great Sevens series. So there with Gordon Tietjens, and of course the man who's always been the manager for good few years now, Ross Everest, and Matt Wenham, the regular physio in the team of New Zealand. Congratulations to them once again. Well, there's always a tradition, isn't there, when they win a tournament, and this is the special haka of the Sevens team. These are, of course, the All Blacks of the Sevens national New Zealand with their own haka. New Zealand, the champions yet again. And so, well, it's been a wonderful season which started in October, and it will be starting next October in this year. But of course, between time, there will be, of course, the Rugby World Cup Sevens in Moscow. Don't forget to miss that. It's the last weekend in June, so just over a month's time. So with us here at Twickenham, we've had a great day over the weekend. Sky Team have been in charge of call, and together with them, the management, Proactive, the guys who have all the stats for us, have done it all season, HG Vision, and of course our commentary here with Mark Robson and Ian Evans, Ben Gollings, Scott Hastings, Wyn Griffith, Johnny Hammond, and Sue Day, of course, who was with us with the women's tournament, which was brilliantly played by England beating Australia in the final. And all the best of wish to you from myself, Nigel Starmer-Smith, and don't forget, there's a wonderful Rugby World Cup Sevens Moscow coming up soon. Don't miss it. From all of us here, goodbye from Twickenham.